Hey guys, got a cool video. Okay, about 20 videos ago, Christ gave me an option to view extraterrestrial unknown events that people experienced on the earth. And he could show them to me, show me the events that happened. Well, I got two. I made a video about it, what I saw. Awesome stuff. I wanted more. I wanted more. So I've been asking for 4 months to give me more of these experiences people have had, other Christians have had, and Christ has no answer for it. Nothing. So for the last couple of days I've been having it out with the new guy I'm working with. He's awesome. But he says it's not in my best interest and he ain't going to show me it because it's abuse. And I guess it's some of the most horrific shit you ever seen, stuff that he has no answer for. People have died, torn apart, babies eaten, that type of stuff. And the one where the 4 bodies were hanging, the 4 skeletons that had all the skin and meat ripped off them, that were hanging in the subway tunnel, the blood going down to the subway. He said the beast did it. Christ goes, well, I figured the beast did it. So that's what he said. I'm like, the beast. And I'm like, oh yeah, the beast. And he goes, you never want to meet the beast. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, you got any more? I go, they don't have to be abuse. Like, just give me like Bermuda Triangle things, interdimensional, unknown stuff. And he's looking. He said he'd look. But all the stuff that's in that door, all the information that's in there, thousands and thousands, 100,000 experiences people have had that Christ cannot give answers for it. Where other Christians have experienced stuff from way back in the day. I ain't gonna see till I'm dead. Son of a bitch. Man, I want to see him. I want to bring him to you guys, man. That stuff fascinates the shit out of me. Anyway, guys, I ain't gonna get to see him. So he gave me some other stuff. And I asked him about extraterrestrial stuff that, well, Christ knows this next 2 events. They were stupid, but they're okay. One was interesting. The first one is this. He gave it to me the other day, and I've yet to make a video about it, so here it is. I go to bed at night, and I fall asleep after a big argument that I want the unknown from Christ's consciousness. We had a big fight about it. So he gave me this one about extraterrestrials. So I'm in the bottom of the ocean. I'm in the ocean. And I'm in one of them bubble things. What are they called? You go down the ocean in a bubble and you have to pressurize yourself and you go down. And then you sit there and then the bottom's open and there's water. I'm sitting in one of these, way down deep in the ocean, deep, really deep. And I'm sitting there and so it's like a pressurized bell thing. You open up the bottom and there's water. There's water, but you're out. This is the rest of the ocean underneath of you, way down deep in the ocean. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and bleach bottles. A bleach bottle, big 2-liter plastic bottle of Coke with the ends cut off, come floating up to underneath this thing I'm in. This what are they, hanging submarines you hang on? Anyway, I'm in there and I'm with someone, and a bleach bottle comes up and a 2-liter pop bottle, plastic. They're both plastic bottles with the big end cut off the bottom. And they come up and each one has a light inside of it. Like the inner light, a light, and I'm looking at them, and all of a sudden I realize there's like a jellyfish around the bleach bottle, like a jellyfish. But it's more, I don't know how to say it, because the water was wavy like this, and so I couldn't really make it out, but you could see there was like a jellyfish around the bleach bottle. The bleach was inside the organism, the jellyfish. I'm just going to call it jellyfish. Also, I'm sitting there, I'm talking, and I'm not even talking, it's talking to me. The bleach bottle and the jellyfish is talking to me. And it's mental, spiritual. It's spiritual talking, it's not words. And it's talking to me, and I'm talking to it, and it's telling me, we're peaceful, we're peaceful, we're peaceful. That's all it kept saying, we're peaceful, we're peaceful, we're peaceful. And I'm saying, and I'm kind of afraid, like, as this thing gets close, it gets close, and then I get afraid, and then it backs off. As soon as I got afraid, it backed off. And then I got comfortable, and it started approaching again. So it was like, it approached me again until I got afraid, and then it backed off. And then it approached me again until I got afraid, and then it backed off. And then finally, I wasn't so afraid anymore, because each time it came close, I got more afraid and realized, okay, this thing's showing me it's peaceful. So it's like I'm talking to an animal out in the woods, a wolf or something. And it's doing this, but it's doing it consciously. It knows that I'm afraid for my spiritual response, right? And so we're talking to each other that type of way. Finally, it comes up and it's floating at the surface, and I'm not afraid. And I always want to reach out and touch it. And it starts impressing on me. He goes, we're peaceful, we're peaceful. I'm like, okay. And then it's saying, it has to say these words. It says, the Russians have to go. The Russians gotta go. The Russians have to go. We want the Russians to leave. We want the Russians to leave. And this is what it's saying to me. We want the Russians, literally Soviet Union, people. The people in the Soviet Union gotta go. This is what it's saying. I don't know, fuck, right? I'm like, what? And I'm getting mental pictures of Russians floating off into space. It's giving me mental pictures of Russians. And I see Russians floating off into space, leaving the Earth. Thousands of them just leaving the Earth in Russia. And it's saying, and it's giving me this, Russians gotta go. And then, all of a sudden it starts, and I'm going, why do the Russians gotta go? Why do the Russians gotta go? I don't remember an answer from that. And it just kept saying the Russians gotta go. So anyway, I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm going, why am I talking to a fucking bleach bottle? And I'm going, you're a bleach bottle. Why are you looking like a bleach bottle? And it was saying plastic and bleach is killing us, or plastics are killing us, and the Russians, I guess, are killing us. The pollution is killing us, and the Russians are killing us. I didn't understand that, I understood plastics, the pollution, bleach representing pollution in the dream. And I'm talking to this thing, and all of a sudden it goes, well, I go, are you a jellyfish? I'm talking, my spirit, you're a jellyfish? And he goes, and all of a sudden it started giving me, it's chemical makeup. It's chemical makeup. And one of them I got was silicon. Silicon was one of us. And then all these other chemicals it started giving me. I can't remember them all. But there were like 30 chemical makeups of this thing in the water. And it's going, silicon, carbon, fucking this and that, and all jellyfish components. And it's telling me this is what we're made out of. This is what we are made out of. These chemical components. And it kept saying, we're peaceful, we're peaceful. And I didn't understand it. And finally, I woke up. Somewhere around there, I woke up. And I'm like, laying in bed. And then Jesus comes and he goes, so what'd you think of that? And he goes, so I was talking to a fucking bleach bottle. And he goes, well, you wanted something extraterrestrial? And he goes, well, we gave you extraterrestrial. They've been living on the earth for all this time and you don't even know it. And I'm going, what are you talking about? And I go, it was a jellyfish. And he says, well, they look like jellyfish, but like that see-through skin jelly, but it was more like it was more like a torpedo with wavy fin around one side or something. And cuttlefish, I think that's what it looked like, cuttlefish. And even if I may be wrong, I just came into my head, so I'm going to Google it. Anyway, Christ goes, yeah, he goes, they're peaceful, they mean no harm. And he goes, they're extraterrestrial, but they've been living here a long time, long before we got here. But they're extraterrestrials, and they've been here living on the earth the whole time. And I go, a cuttlefish is extraterrestrial? He goes, yeah, well, I didn't say cuttlefish, but I go, a jellyfish? And he goes, yeah, they're living here. They're in the ocean. And he goes, they don't like the Russians. And I go, why? And he goes, because the industry in Russia is killing them and juicing them. I'm going, what do you mean juicing them? And he goes, well, they take the jellyfish and they process it and use it in their own food products. The Russians do. And he goes, other countries do too, but I guess the Russians are doing it more than other countries. But they want the Russians to leave the earth. And he goes, and Cray said, I think he said, it might be this, from what I understand, Chris goes, they want the Russians to leave the earth, or they're going to stop it themselves. And he goes, you'll find out about it sooner or later. And so these things that are living in the ocean, like, I guess, are like smarter than whales and dolphins and seals. They're actually smart. And I go, do they have technology? And he goes, not like you and I know it, but they have community, they have love, they have conversations, they have stuff. And he didn't really give me details about their society at the bottom of the ocean. This is from what I know. So, I can't really explain that to you, but he said these jellyfish, cuttlefish, whatever, they are down there. They're peaceful. They want them to stop killing us. They want us to stop killing them as a food byproduct. So when you're making, from what I guess Cray says, in our food industry, we use them. We take jellyfish, we dry them out, mash it up, turn it into a powder, and you can add it to a gravy. You can add it to milk and baby formulas and shit. Well, that's actually extraterrestrials you're consuming. But we don't know they're extraterrestrials because we can't communicate with them. Get it? So, the Russians, I guess, have been doing this the most. And the people, the ETs that live in the ocean, the cuttlefish, jellyfish people, whatever they are, we don't know that they are. We just think it's a fish or a jellyfish. So, throw it in the food industry, grind it up and dry it up, and we'll eat it. But the Russians, from what the aliens are saying, and what Christ told me, they're doing it the most, and they're sick of it, and they want this to stop. and they have to leave the Earth. I don't know how that's going to take place. I go, is this an illusion? Because this makes no goddamn sense. I told Grace, I go, this makes no fucking sense. And I go, did you watch The Abyss and you're telling me this? You know, it's like, you ever watch the movie The Abyss? I told Grace, I go, did you ever watch The Abyss, the movie The Abyss? And he goes, nope, never seen it. And I go, well, watch it. So he ordered it, and he's gonna get it in and watch. And I said, this is The Abyss. This is right out of the movie The Abyss. And he goes, well, maybe it was based on that. I don't know. But anyway, Christ knows that these beings are living deep down in the ocean. And they're not squid, they're not jellyfish. They're more like a cuttlefish, if I'm thinking of a cuttlefish the right way. It might be called something else. But anyway, these things are living in the ocean. They're conscious. They're smarter. They're like 50%, over 50% of us. He don't know the level of smart. But anyway, he's communicating with them, and Christ is communicating with them, and they're good. They're good. There's no war on it, but they don't like the Russians because they call it Russians. It could be other countries too. I don't know. But this is what the layout was in my dream. Now, the reason I dreamt of, I think the bleach bottle and it was symbolic, so I could see what I was talking to. Plus, it was informing me of the pollution that they're experiencing. Now, what's bleach do? It kills. Pollution kills. The pollution and the Coke bottle, plastic Coke bottle, pollution. Plastic bleach bottle, bleach kills. It bleaches, disinfects, sterilizes, kills, right? So those two things representing symbolically what we are doing to these extraterrestrial jellyfish people down in the ocean. In the dream, when I woke up, Christ verified it all, which I found fascinating. He says 100%. They've been here longer than we have, from way back in the caveman days. He goes, they've been here the whole time, living, doing their thing. True extraterrestrials. And they're conscious. I mean, it was giving me the chemical components of what it's made out of. So they gotta be somewhat smart. There were so many of them, I couldn't even remember. I couldn't even attempt to remember the words they were giving me. I remember silicon, carbon-based silicon things and all that. Sulfur and this and that. And I don't know. But anyway, it was so much I couldn't remember it. Like, I actually had to tell it to stop. I get it. You know what I mean? Because it was just so much of it. Anyway, that was one experience I had in a dream where Christ showed me extraterrestrials. And they live in our ocean, and we're killing them. But I don't understand why the Russians got to leave, or how they're going to leave, or how these silicon things, these jellyfish people, are going to make them leave. But these things are in our ocean right now, living. We eat them, and we catch them and eat them, process them and eat them, and they're pissed about it. Here's a strain of research you can take off on. So check it out, man. All right, I don't know whatever. I got cuttlefish. It looked like a torpedo thing, like a torpedo jellyfish with a wavy fin around it. That's what it looked like in the water. But it had a plastic bleach bottle inside of it, which was represented so I could focus. Plus it had the inner spark, the inner light in it. That was just there so I could see it. Plus it was representing what's killing it. So, killing them. That was one. Extraterrestrials. And they're smarter than whales and dolphins and dogs and cats and the shit like that. And we don't even know. We don't even know. I have no clue. Well, that's what Christ told me. He showed me in a dream. And I told him about the movie The Abyss. Yeah, they look like the in the movie The Abyss, but they were just one jellyfish and you could see through them. I keep thinking cuttlefish. I don't know. Anyway, guys, you get what I'm trying to say. Anyway, they live down there. I have yet to physically see one. But I was talking to him and spiritually talking to him. It's crazy. Okay.